So I was just thinking to the Lord, I was just talking to him and I was praying, and it's like, I understand why a lot of people don't want to go into ministry, because you have to deal with this kind of stuff. You have to deal with mentally unstable and unhinged, emotionally unstable people who are filled with demonic spirits, who are rebellious, who don't want to go to God. They want to make excuses and stay in their sins, but then they want to target you and attack you. You have to deal with people who abuse you, mistreat you, come up against you, lie on you, slander you, attack you and your family. It's like I'm sitting here with all these problems now as a result of doing God's work. I'm sitting here because I wanted I wanted to be used by God, and he chose me to be used for his ministry work. And I'm trying to help people. And now as a result, I'm sitting here with a criminal record that I didn't even know about. Apparently charges have been filed against me in the state of North Carolina because of a woman, because I post pictures and videos showing evidence of a woman who's done things to me, an unhinged, mentally unstable woman who's assaulted me for many years, me and my children. And you can look at my face, look at me, face all big and fat. You can see all this on my face, you know. Every day this woman morphs herself into my body, attaches herself to my soul. See, the Lord, the Holy Spirit showed me all of this stuff. But you can come to me in the spiritual realm. You can cast spells and admit openly in public that you are a sorceress. Has admitted it openly. I have a video showing proof and evidence of this woman admitting this, telling people to become a sorceress. Have shown a spell book on her own blog, showed a spell book talking about how she wants to have charges filed on my son, a way they can get charges filed on him, and say hocus pocus, showing that she's going to cast a spell, her and her friends, and you get him arrested. A disabled, innocent 15-year-old boy arrested because he said some words to your teenage son, because you have been all along assaulting my son in the kingdom of darkness, attacking him, putting out sorcery and spells to take his features and his DNA, his knowledge, his brains, his talents, so you can transfer them to your son. The same thing you've been doing, taking things from me that you wanted about me and coveted, and putting it on yourself and putting all your burdens on me. You can openly mock me, shame me, tell me if I want to lose weight, oh, I need to stop eating junk. But I wasn't eating junk. I was a healthy eater. I liked fruit. I liked whole grains. I liked vegetables. I was a vegetarian. I was eating yogurt and healthy things, but you keep passing your burdens on me because you were the one gorging on cupcakes and cake and cookies and ice cream. But you want to transfer your burdens and gluttony spirits off of me and my daughter because, you know, you don't want to go to God yourself and get delivered, but you can use sorcery and witchcraft to put all your fat on us, to transfer your gluttony spirits upon us, to have us carry your burdens. Yeah, you can run around and be athletic now and run it and complete an entire triathlon. But you did it because you stole my bone structure, you stole my DNA, you stole my body. I had a mesomorph body, muscular build, and you were an endomorph, more naturally big bone woman with more fat on you and not muscle. So now you can go out with the DNA you used of mine that you stole. You can run a triathlon and exercise, and I can't even barely run a mile or even up the street anymore. And I'm sitting here with all this fat on my body. Look at all this. Every day I wake up. This is why I posted pictures and videos, because every day I wake up with all this lump fat on me. I was trying to work out and exercise despite my legs being messed up, because another unhinged person, a man, was using demons and sorcery to cut in my legs, my feet every day, literally lacerating my tendons and my ankles to the point where I sometimes had to crawl out of bed. And I talked about this many times. Had even been cutting me in the middle of the night. I would be in so much excruciating pain. Sometimes I would go to sleep crying. Would feel things hitting me in my bones, on my knees, sending demons to do all this stuff, doing this in the spiritual realm, loosing attacks upon me, putting curses upon me, to swap my body, take my legs, take my DNA, all this stuff. But this stuff is allowed to go on. We don't have any rights. We can't speak out about this. You can literally take everything about us that you don't like or that you want and take it for yourself. I'm literally waking up every day feeling my lower back, just feeling something just being sucked out of my lower back. My spine area is sore and hurting. I can feel something just being tugging in my lower back. They're stealing my DNA, stealing stuff out of me. It's like having a bone marrow transplant, where they're just taking all of the stuff out of me, where I can, you know, can no longer talk or have this communication skills I used to have, because you're still in that. You can attack me on the jobs. You can assault me in the kingdom of darkness wherever I go. Take my knowledge, take my brain, take my everything that God has put inside of me. Literally assault me and steal from me. This is allowed to happen with sorcery and witchcraft. Then you don't want that to be talked about, though. You can violate us and violate our rights, take everything from us, but we can't file charges. We can't go in a court of law and file charges or go in a police station, because you look at us like we're crazy and pretend you don't know what's going on, but you see things, you see the evidence that's posting. A lot of people who are committing sorcery themselves, you know what's going on in the spiritual realm, but you won't put any laws out against this stuff. Why is that? Like I said, I could sit here, used to have natural full lips, nice, beautiful lips, but I could feel my lips tingle. My lips will start tingling all of a sudden. I can feel them tingling and like a burning sensation. And they're losing sorcery in my lips to take the shape of my lips. And I go in the mirror, my lips all skinny and small or lopsided because they're losing spells to take the full size of the shape of my lips because they covered the nice, beautiful, full size lips that I used to have. But this is allowed to happen. I can walk around with one eye bigger than the other and lopsided because you're still in everything, morphing my features, trying to take my eye shape because you don't like your big round eyes. And so now you want to take my eyes because they're naturally slanted. I'm walking around with my lopsided bone structure, one cheekbone bigger than the other, complete bone structure gone because you're still in that. You don't want to talk about how you're still in all this stuff. You don't want to talk about how you're taking our DNA and our talents and dispersing it amongst the kingdom of darkness to whoever you want to give it to. You're taking everything that belongs to God, put inside of us, but you want to file charges against me in the court of law. But you're allowing the church to be destroyed. There is no laws imposed against witchcraft and the torment and the assaults that's been happening to us when children can literally be mistreated and abused by grown adults. Adult women and men and women. When you have teachers in a classroom using sorcery, losing a sorcery at the child's brain, causing the child to have headaches every time they go into the classroom, child getting headaches, intense headaches to the point they come home, they're sitting in there in excruciating pain all day and come home and vomit. When a child you're taking everything from a child, putting eczema on them, taking their beauty, their handsome features to put it on your son because you don't like the way your son looks. And now you're taking everything you don't like about your son, putting it on my son to the point they're not getting teased and mistreated and laughed at in school, called ugly. When you destroy a child's life and send them to a jail, cause them to go to jail, put out a hex to cause them to go to jail, cause them to be in a detention center for 4 months, be mistreated and abused and oppressed and separated from their families. This is evil, wicked stuff. When you could sit here and cast a spell and have demons come in and literally try to cause me to have a heart attack. You can lose sorcery or whatever you do, and all of a sudden I'm sitting here, my heart rate speeding up out of nowhere, or I feel a tightness around my chest, and all of a sudden the Lord's let me know I had to start going in heavy warfare and prayer. And that's when it finally stops, because you would have effectively killed me. You attempted to murder me. But that stuff could that could happen. We don't want to talk about that, right? But you could file charges against me in a court of law, give me a criminal record for something I haven't done. I'm not even a criminal. I'm just exposing what's been done to me, because me and my family, we've been targeted by the kingdom of darkness for a long time. I've been targeted by the kingdom of darkness for more than 30 years. My children have been targeted by the kingdom of darkness for about 15 years now, when children could be sexually violated and assaulted, but nothing is done about it. And you could watch sorcerers come and literally do things to children, but you don't do anything. See, this is the stuff. This is why God's going to start judging, because, you know, when the perpetrators come forth, you're accountable. Those who are in position of authority, you're supposed to be doing something about this, but you're not. You're letting this stuff go on. And I tried, you know, I've tried petitioning to the White House. I tried to make a petition and get the government to impose laws against witchcraft being used as a weapon. People abusing witchcraft and doing whatever they want with witchcraft and violating people and assaulting people, mainly Christian people. But no one wanted to sign a petition. No one did anything, you know. Church didn't even sign a petition. No one helped. It's like, so this is what we're going through. And I sit up here every day after losing weight. I had a naturally small, muscular, mesomorph body. And now I can't even lose a pound. I'm walking around here over 200-some pounds every day, feeling fat, just lumps of fat coming on my body every single day, bigger and bigger, gaining all this weight. Can't lose any weight because another woman has cast her burdens upon me, putting spells out there to take over my body and have all her fat transferred to me and my daughter, who was very small. But I have to walk around like this. Look at all this. But I don't have a right to say anything. Oh, I'm not supposed to say anything about that. But you can press charges against me in a court of law, but in the state of North Carolina. But you're in the state of North Carolina when you're losing these sources upon me, insulting me and my children. So what's being done about that? And this is why God's going to start judging these people in these states and these cities and these judicial systems and law enforcements who have allowed these things to go on, because you're accountable. Those who are imposing and enforcing the law, this is something that you should have been doing, and imposing, you know, some type of laws against this kind of stuff. People should not be allowed to use sorcery at their will and witchcraft to hurt another human being and assault them, especially children. And I've talked about this many times, but people want to label me crazy and say, oh, it's not happening. But I have all the evidence on the page. You see my face, you see how my skin, how I can go out and buy expensive skin products, use natural skincare regimens to have my face looking nice and smooth, nice, glowing, beautiful complexion I once had. And I posted all this stuff recently. No one goes through these drastic changes like that within such a short period of time. Then all of a sudden I wake back up, I have all this acne on my face, eczema that I never had before. Because a woman who, you could literally go back on her social media pages and see that she had eczema and acne, had been transferring her burdens onto me. Big black marks and circles all under my face like hers, but she's telling me, oh, there's no sorcery going on. But you let this unhinged woman, you believe her, her in a court of law. You let her file charges against me, and nothing's done to her for assaulting me and my family. But you're letting the entire kingdom of darkness come up against God's people, against his anointed, against his church. And this is what God's going to be judging about. Yeah, there might not be justice for us here on this earth, but believe me, those who are in positions of authority, who are accountable, God's going to hold you accountable. You're going to be judged. And if you think you're going to get into God's heaven and you haven't done anything about this on earth, you're sadly mistaken. All these people who come up against this family, my family, all these people who come up against the anointed, you're going to answer to God for it. You let all these people assault us. You let them violate our rights, stalk us, literally follow us around in the stores, attacking us and targeting us everywhere we go on the road, trying to run us down. You've watched all this. You see everything. You see it. And God knows you see it. God knows you saw what was done. And a lot of you caused it. And that's the thing. God's going to be dealing with it. Because we shouldn't have been violated like this. None of this should have been happening. You literally letting people be tormented, locking people up for no reason. Having people commit crimes. Those who've done this sorcery, like I said, they're the ones who should be accountable. Not the innocent children locked up when these sorcerers have put spells upon them and had them go to prison. And you literally have this evidence. What's going to be done about it? Because see, now God's looking at you. He's the judge. He's a sovereign God. He's the judge above all. And believe me, I go to him just like you all. You can go to your law enforcement and judge, but I have a judge that I go to. I have a judge that I'm going to about every single thing that was done to me and my family. We were literally assaulted. I can't even run anymore. Like I said, had my feet and legs cut into all this, had to literally crawl, literally being sodomized and loosing demons to have stuff going upside me and sodomizing me. Been literally sexually assaulted, waking up, necked, feeling like I'd been strangled. This had happened to, all this stuff had happened to us. We have been tormented for years. And it's only by the grace of God that I'm still safe, stable, and sane. After all the torment that I've gone through, I've literally had my hair burned out where someone put a spell upon me and had my hair burning so badly for months that it felt like alive was on my hair. This is why you see all these thin, my hair is so thin now, it's just out because they literally burned my scalp. Teeth rotted out, everything. They have tormented us with this witchcraft. These unstable, unhinged people, emotionally unstable, wicked people who don't want to go to God, filled with jealousy and hatred and envy, even targeting children. But that this stuff is allowed to happen. And no one says anything. But I speak out about it, about these injustices. But God is a judge. He's a sovereign God, and he has saw everything. He has seen everything that was done, and believe me, he's going to get justice, and he's going to get his judgment.